Kia ora, welcome to the Groundhog Day YouTube hop. And what you're seeing here is a layout I had done 2 years ago. And this time last year, I scrap lifted that layout and created this one. And I've turned this into a bit of a sketch because it seems like it's going to be something that we do each year. So I thought, why not have something simple to copy or to work from? So created a bit of a sketch, which you're welcome to use if you want to. And I'm just going to scrapbook these photos that I took probably a few weeks ago. It's summer over here in New Zealand. We've had a pretty much an at-home summer with a few wee trips here and there. I'm using the gorgeous Now and Forever collection by Close to My Heart. It's a very romantic collection. I think it's meant for Valentine's Day type layouts, celebrations of love and things like that. But I teamed this collection up with the photos because of the top that I'm wearing in the photo. So you can sort of see it to the left there. It's sort of got these sort of old world or old-fashioned florals and stuff on it, and it's these soft pinks. So I just thought, well, why not use this collection with these photos? So I am sticking with the original design where it's sort of a half and half layout, where one side's got a bit of detail and a few bits and pieces going on in it, and the other side's fairly simple apart from some paint splatters, which coming up to about the point where I realised I forgot to put the paint splatters on before I stuck down my papers. This doily that I am sticking down to try and give that sort of scalloped element over to the right hand side of the layout is a thin cut, which is the fancy doilies thin cut that I got a few years ago. It's a little bit smaller than what it would show in the sketch or the first two layouts I've done. But I've kind of shrunk that whole centerpiece in this scrap lift. So the Groundhog Day is sort of to scrap lift a layout of yourself, and the idea is to put photos of yourself in it too. So each year there's kind of a record of people or myself going into this layout. So I am working away with that, but the doily is smaller, but it will fit in quite nicely in the overall picture of it when you see it all coming together. This piece that I've just put here is one of the zip strips that was attached to that sort of lacy paper that I've put to the right there, that pink with the white lacy bits. And then one of the other papers from this collection was sort of that really dainty kind of floral. It looks like little dots from the background here, unless you look closely. So I'm now going to sort of cut up some photo mats kind of. So the original layout and or the sketch sort of had a couple of pieces tucked behind the photos, so they weren't exactly a photo mat in that it wasn't stuck exactly to the photos, but they just sort of tucked in behind and added a few little layers. And what it does for this one is I've used sort of that sagey paper in the background, I think it's Seabrook actually, paper cardstock in the background there, and then all the rest of it's kind of got lots of pinky bits. But it brings the pinky stuff over onto that left-hand side, so it creates a bit of an anchor or a connection across from the pieces. So now is when I get to the point where it's like, oops, I needed some splatters. So I'm just going to mask off the papers that I've stuck down, and I'm just using my rather dried up gloss acrylic spray. This is the white. And yeah, I have got a replacement one, but it still kind of works doing the splatters there. You can see it's going on my desk too. So I'm just going to leave that aside to dry a little bit. It'll be pretty quick because it is quite warm over here at the moment. We've had some pretty stunning days sun-wise. I actually prefer the cold, but that's okay. We have a heat pump, which is can be used as an air conditioning unit as well to cool things down. Most nights we have 2, if not 3 fans whirring away in the bedrooms just to keep us all a little bit cooler while we sleep. It seems interesting to think about this as that at the time that I'm filming this and recording this voiceover, sort of at the other end of our country, they've got massive flooding and people have been evacuated, and roads looked like rivers. and things like that. So it does seem kind of strange that we've got this amazing summer, especially when the South Island is normally cooler than the North Island. So the North Island is where people are more likely to go to get a bit of more reliable sun, but this year hasn't been that way, so it's kind of been a good year to be sort of having an at-home summer. So now I'm just playing around with the sort of photo cluster while the paint dries, and it has, and choosing some stickers and different things from the Now and Forever collection that I think will work with the sort of the photo cluster, I guess is what you would call it, that I'm going to stick down here, keeping it quite low down as it sort of was in the original layout and or sketch, and just sort of pressing that down. And I'm going to wrinkle up the edges like I did with the strips down through the middle as well. So just sort of curling that up, giving it a little bit of texture and shape, and thinking, okay, what am I going to add here? So looking at the sticker sheet and thinking about titles. Now up the top right here there was another sort of clustered element, so just pulling out some more of the pieces. And I will add to that a little bit later on, as well as pull out one of the butterflies to another point. So I'm just going to work out my title. It took me a while to actually think about this one. So I ended up going really simple and just called it Me, because that's kind of what it is. And so yeah, I was just at home on my own. I was like, okay, there's this scrapbook thing coming up that I need some photos of me, so I better get some. And that was just basically what it was all about. So the journaling's very simple. It just says that just some selfies of me at home, which is one of my favourite places to be at the start of 2023. Oh, that even rhymes. I didn't notice that till I read that out then. But that's really silly. I can't believe I just said that. Anyway. Just keeping it super simple. There's no great depth. I did wonder about writing goals for the year, but I think that's sort of something that I would create in a layout with either hidden journaling or something that I would do just for me. It's not necessarily something that I would put here on YouTube for the world to see. Not that the world's looking. Anyway, I'm going to stick down that title, just using the green Tombow here. I find it a really good, strong adhesive. I do like my liquid glass, but it just doesn't seem to flow quite as quickly. And sticking down I went to stick down these flowers with the Tombow, but they had a great adhesive backing anyway, and it took a wee while to come off, so it seems to be fairly well stuck, which is pretty cool, because normally with embellishments like this you do have to add your own, so it's quite nice not doing it. They're sort of a gorgeous, almost embroidered look embellishment as part of this Now and Forever collection, so they're rather cute. Adding a few silver sparkles just to finish it off, and sort of in those clustered spaces. And liking what I see. So here's another look at the kind of the sketch that it seems I'll be using each year for this particular layout, and here's sort of a still shot of the finished layout that you can see, as well as a few close-ups. So make sure you carry on looking in this YouTube playlist for other people who have sort of scrap lifted themselves as part of the Groundhog Day hop, and thanks for watching.